Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Classic Tetris Gauntlet Overdrive. I am your main host, ITZsharky, and I am beyond excited to have this season launch with you guys. Now, as you notice, there is a lot that is going on. Right now, we have all your 14 players that were drafted to the Rubies. You take a look, we have 20 players that was drafted in the diamond position, and we have 20 players that was drafted in the platinum division. Now, all these players are going to be revealed one by one. So eventually we'll find out. We'll be starting with the platinum draft, but first, we gotta discuss who our captains are because we have almost a new set of captains. So, let's get started, shall we? First things first, we gotta talk about the Millionaires, your champions for the Classic Tetris Gauntlet Ignition season. Unfortunately, Andy is not returning as captain this season. However, they have someone that I think is more than fit the bill to potentially ride them to a back-to-back championship. Ladies and gentlemen, your captain for the Millionaires is none other than TikTok sensation Miles Miller. In addition to that, Miles is not the only new captain. Your CTWC 2021 Silver Champion is taking over Dog's place as the new captain of the Stochastic Squad. So, honestly, those are, two brand new captains, but we got a few more. The Wavy Ones, Ian was their captain. They managed to get 4th place last season, and their captain this season, I don't think there is anyone that is more fit to be a captain than the player that went undefeated the entire last season of Ignition. With an 11-0 record, now the captain of the Wavy Ones, Sidnev, is coming in strong. In addition to Sidnev being a new captain, Eric is not returning this season. However, one that is arguably can do the same things that Eric can do in terms of stupidly insane survival. You love him, you hate him. He definitely needs to learn how to top out sometimes. But it's none other than Tetris time for your new Grandmasters captain. And then we have one more captain that is new to this season. He is known as Stone Somalian. He is going to be your new captain of Top Down. Coming back this season is going to be Jerpadude, the captain of the Sparks Aminos, which they're going through a new look this season. This time their season colors are yellow and black. And last but certainly not least, voted one of the best captains of season Ignition and brought his entire team to unprecedented levels of skill, having the highest team combined elo last season. For your last captain of the season, ladies and gentlemen, you have Opox. How could I possibly forget? The Roller Slayer himself is taking over the Drywellers. Arguably can tap at rolling speeds. Ladies and gentlemen, your captain of the Drywellers is Alex T. So, those are your captains. I hope you guys are excited because now we're going to reveal who's in our draft. Of course, we're going to start by starting with our Platinum draft. And we are actually going to be going in order from bottom to top. All right. So, for the 20th pick in the draft, joining the Grandmasters as opposed to last season being a part of the Millionaires, you have Marks. You guys in chat are wild. For our 21st pick, a new player that is making their debut in the season. You will definitely recognize the name. Not sure if you know the player though. For your 19th pick in the Classic Tetris Gauntlet Overdrive Platinum Draft, you have Michael Jackson. For your 18th pick, also making a debut in the team Tetris Gauntlet. They played in Gauntlet before back in, I believe, Season of Ice, and they decided to make a return. Ladies and gentlemen, your 18th pick is Billy Mack. Next up, for your 17th pick in the draft, they are well known in CTM. However, it's going to be the first time we're going to be seeing them compete in Gauntlet. I think they play chess, maybe not. But, ladies and gentlemen, your 17th pick in the draft is 3-2s. Now, of course, I did forget to mention Michael Jackson is going to be joining Top Down. Billy Mack is going to be joining the Sparks and Minos, and 3-2s is going to be joining the Aux Chords. Now we're getting into our second row, our 16th pick in the draft, making a debut here in Gauntlet. They were just shy of the PB threshold last season, but this time they shattered that PB threshold by over 100,000 for your 16th pick of the draft. Joining the Drywellers, ladies and gentlemen, I give to you Wolflord. For your 15th pick in the Platinum Draft, making a debut as well. That's crazy, because we actually had 81 people sign up for this season of Gauntlet. That's wild, and there's still a mid-season draft too. But for your 15th pick, joining the Wavy Ones, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Gabriel. Now, for your 14th pick, making a return to the Millionaires, however, obviously under new leadership, she is well known for being an insanely fast tapper and being able to get out of some incredible situations. Ladies and gentlemen, for your 14th pick in the Platinum Draft, Maddie. Now, for your 13th pick in the draft, also making a debut. We have a lot of players that are making a debut this season, but this is another player making a debut, joining the Stochastic Squad, Jacob. Joining the Drywellers, obviously a player debuting, Adelito at your 11th pick. Now here we are getting into our top 10. Getting into our top 10 players. Coming in at 10th place, originally played for the Rogues. However, now they're going to be rocking with a new crowd. Rather shocking, you can say. Ladies and gentlemen, joining the Sparks and Minos, I give to you Brian. For your 9th pick overall for the Platinums, joining the... Wait a second. Joining also the Sparks and Minos, a player that played on the Tree Rats. Ladies and gentlemen, I give to you Ryan Whippin' E. Now we're getting into our top 8. Making their season debut, a player that a lot of people might know. And if you ask me, they have a little bit too many underspaces in their name. However, they're going to be riding with a new wave. Ladies and gentlemen, joining the Wavy Ones, Wide. Now, this one is very special. Even though they are drafted at number 7, they play for the Aux Chords last season, and they are our web designer for the website. They have improved significantly, and they're borderline diamond. Won the highest elo out of all the people that are in the Platinum Draft. Joining the Millionaires, ladies and gentlemen, I give to you Grand Designs. For your 6th pick overall, with a PB that is also just shy of a max, and they'll probably get it soon. Another high elo player here in the Platinum Division. Originally played for the Sparks and Minos last season. However, they want to rock with a new crowd. A little bit dry, but who knows, maybe the long bar will eventually come. Joining the Drywellers, I give to you Roman. Now we're getting into our top 5. Coming in at number 5, a player that has a couple hundred points shy of a max. They played for the Bodacious Bees last season, but this time they're going to be rocking with a new squad. Coming in at seed number 5, Guardian Psycho, joining the Stochastic Squad. joining top down Mr. FAQ. Now, for your third pick in the Platinum Draft, we had to do things a little bit differently. So they are considered a Diamond player, but third pick overall in your Platinum Draft, coming back to the aux chords, ladies and gentlemen, El Peltum. Now, for your second pick in your Classic Tetris Gauntlet Overdrive Platinum Draft, a very strong player. They play for the Drywellers, however, they were not picked up by the Drywellers again this time. In fact, someone else scooped them up. They were a Gauntlet All-Star for the Platinum Division, and this time, they're gonna surf a new wave, joining the Wavy Ones, Morelando. And last, but definitely not least, your first pick in the Classic Tetris Gauntlet Overdrive Platinum Draft. A player that has been chasing the max for quite a long time. Is one of the assistant organizers to the CTWC and made an amazing debut last season with the Drywellers, joining the Millionaires at first pick overall, Vince. So those are your players that have all been drafted. In order, you have Vince, Morelando, Elp, Mr. FAQ, Guardian, Roman, Grand Designs, Wide, Ryan, Brian, Adelito, Grandmaster, Jacob, Maddie, Gabriel, Wolflord, 3-2s, Billy Mac, Michael Jackson, and Martz. But that's the Platinum Draft. Now we gotta start getting into some more interesting stuff. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, we have the Diamond Draft coming up. Now, starting off with our Diamond players, as you can see, we have 20 of 20 Diamond players coming. And before we get on to that, I do want to say that there are some people that were not included. However, Kingsman is going to be returning to the Grandmasters. Tetris Time made sure that Kingsman was coming back on the team, which is why Kingsman was not included in the draft. But, I mean, hey, Kingsman, he's shaping up to be a terrifying player. Like, he has a 900k. Honestly, you got to watch out for Kingsman. He's gonna come in here and start. Oh, I can't wait. I'm gonna get up all in the mic. That's right, Kingsman, pick number 0. So for your 20th pick in the Gauntlet Overdrive Diamond Draft, making a season debut and joining the aux chords, Dylan A. Anyways, for your 19th pick in the draft, joining the Drywellers, ladies and gentlemen, you have Messex. For your 18th pick in the draft, joining the Stochastic Squad, making a debut on Classic Tetris Gauntlet, you have Kitten. Yeah, that is correct. Elo is factored into the teams as well as PB to help make them balance. There is not going to be no top down or bodacious bees of last season. Everyone is going to be as even as we can get at the start of the season. So that's hype. Now for your 17th pick in the Gauntlet Draft, a player that played for the Rogues but has decided to become a master of Tetris, joining Tetris Time and the Grandmasters, you have Hag. Now, for your 16th player, that's correct, Hag is Poopy Old Hag. Your 16th player in the Gauntlet Draft, They were with the Wavy Ones last season. However, they got picked up by a new squad, and I think they're going to be really happy because their new team is quite rich. Joining the Millionaires, ladies and gentlemen, I give you Timmy. For your 15th pick in the draft, was a member of the Rogues last season. However, they're going to be going with an electrifying new crowd. Joining the Sparks and Minos is Raycon. For your 14th pick in the draft, making a debut to Gauntlet, and is going to be joining Top Down. One of the players that we have that has the name Dan. Ladies and gentlemen, for your 14th pick, I give you 20 Dan. For your 12th pick in the overall draft, originally they were with the Wavy Ones, and turns out they're gonna stay with the Wavy Ones with just under a 1.2 million PB. Ladies and gentlemen, Jordan as your 13th pick. For your 12th pick, I believe Kingsman calls him the Dragon in Tetris Friendlies. I believe I paid attention enough. But making a debut in Gauntlet this season, joining the Stochastic squad, you have Ian Keith. Also making a debut in this upcoming season, joining Alex T this season, you have Dewey joining the Drywellers. And that's kind of interesting. Drywellers, DW, Dewey, DW. I think that's a match made in Gauntlet. This next player played for TCGI. However, since TCGI is not coming back, they're forced to go to a new team. But they're going to be playing with a familiar teammate. For your 10th pick in the Diamond Draft, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Boxy. Now, for your 9th pick overall, a rockout player that has been absolutely exceptional in Classic Tetris Gauntlet and is your CTWC 2020 Silver finalist, not staying with the Wavy Ones, but instead joining the Ox Chords. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Noel. For your 8th pick in the draft was a member of Anomalous. Wow, I messed up. Was a member of Stochastic squad. But this time they're going to be rocking with a new crowd. Tetris Time, it was able to scoop them up. And Anomalous joins the Grandmasters. Yep. Anomalous is going to be the new team name. Now, for your number 7 pick, they played for the Millionaires last season and was an amazing Platinum player, helped lead to a very good season. However, this time, they're not going to be on the Millionaires. In fact, they're going to be rocking with Jerpa Dude and the Sparks and Minos. Ladies and gentlemen, your 7th overall pick is Puppy Ball. For your 6th pick overall, the Stochastic squad decided to pick up one of the players from Top Down last season. However, they decided to make a trade last second. So, even though they was originally drafted to the Stochastic squad, they will be returning to Top Down. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Draco, aka Storm and Norman. Now, returning to the Drywellers, also one of the Restreamers, a very common voice you're going to hear in this upcoming season of Gauntlet. If you can't tell who it is by then yeah. But for your 5th pick overall, returning to the Drywellers, Poo Dipio. Yes, Morelando, we did plats earlier. Now, for your 4th pick overall, making a return, or not making a return, making a debut here in Classic Tetris. Yeah, spam OK poos. Oh my god. Making a return, or no, wow, I said that twice in a row. Making a debut in the Classic Tetris Gauntlet is going to be living the high life, as they are going to be joining the Millionaires. Ladies and gentlemen, your 4th overall pick is SV Nestris. Now we start getting into your top 3 players. Was originally going to be a Ruby player this upcoming season. However, they decided to take on rolling, which caused them to be demoted in PB. They're not going to be returning to the Bs this season, but they're going to be jamming out to some insane tunes. Joining the Ox Chords, you have Dan Binky. For 2nd pick overall, not making a return to the Stochastic squad, but instead joining the Masters, or should I say the Grandmasters, your 7th pick overall is going to be Scamper. And if you haven't guessed it by now, your 1st pick in the Diamond Draft was originally going to be a 1.2 player, maybe even the captain of the Millionaires, but decided to take up rolling, causing their PB to decrease into the millions, or into the million rather. And as a result, they are going to be drafted. Now, they were the Diamond Player of the Year last year. And they played for the Millionaires. However, this time, they are going to be joining the Sparks and Minos. Ladies and gentlemen, your 1st pick in the Diamond Draft is Rhubarb. Wow, thing did not disappear. So just to recap, our 20 players this season: Rhubarb, Scamper, Dan Binky, SV Nestris, Pooh, Draco, Puppyball, Anomalous, Noel, Boxy, Dewey, Ian Keith, Jordan, 20 Dan, Raycon, Timmy, Hag, Kitten, Messex, and Dylan A. And then, of course, we have the one that everyone's excited for. Our Ruby players. We had 14 Ruby players that got drafted this season. Obviously, we're going to start coming from top to bottom, and I think the player that is going to be in the #1 spot might surprise you. Or it might not. Who knows? But for your 14th pick in the Ruby draft, originally a player that was with the Tree Rats. However, they are rocking to a new squad. They were originally picked up by Top Down, but were traded to Stochastic for another player. Your 14th pick in the Ruby draft, Odin. For your 13th pick, making a return to the Dry Wellers, an insane player and has some insane moments last season. We'll see if they'll be able to keep it up this season. 13th pick overall is Melachak. For your 12th pick overall, making a debut in the season and is going to be riding the wave with all the popular players. I believe they're an Australian player as well. Please welcome Chill Allah to the Wavy Ones. Now, formerly a captain of the Bees last season, they didn't quite meet the ELO threshold to become a captain this season, but they said that was fine because now they're going to be rolling in that rich ELO, emphasis on the rich. Joining the Millionaires at pick number 11, you have Nevinator. for your 10th pick overall, a player that has probably started a good majority of Daz controversy, but is a phenomenal Daz player, has numerous 1.2s, I believe a 1.2 on 19 as well. Joining the Stochastic squad, you have NGC Man. This player, even though they have a 1.2, they are not going to be returning to the Aux cores this upcoming season, but they're going to be rocking with a new crowd. And I think it's going to be an electrifying season for them. Joining the Sparks and Minos at the 9th pick, you have Knight. And now for your 8th pick in the draft, they play for the Sparks and Minos. However, they're not playing for the Sparks and Minos this upcoming season. They recently got a 1.2, and they like to wear the color red a lot. Joining the Aux cores, ladies and gentlemen, I give it to you, Red Shirt. Now here we are, our last 7 picks. A player that is actually returning to the Grandmasters. They are an unbelievable player, and it's quite funny because they have a twin that also got picked. Now obviously they're not on the same team, but they're a phenomenal player, and I can't wait to see what they do this season as they help bring the Grandmasters all the way to the finals just with their insane platinum play. Returning to the Grandmasters, you have Zyle. Now, at your 6th pick overall was a player that joined Gauntlet last season. No one knew anything about him. And honestly, I was kind of skeptical when he had a 1.2 PB, but his play last season was nothing short of stellar. But he's not returning to the Sparks and Minos. In fact, he's going to be riding with a new crowd, and he's looking to come out on top, joining top down everyone's favorite table tennis player that is in the community, TT Playa. Now, for your 5th seed, or your 5th pick, making a debut in Gauntlet, but I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys know them. They're going to be joining the Drywellers, along with Alex T. And they like throwing stuff around. Your 5th overall pick is LMAO Yeet. Now, for your 4th pick in the draft, they are a Guitar Hero specialist and recently got a 1.3. They are your 2021 CTWC Silver finalists. And they are going to be joining the Wavy Ones. Ladies and gentlemen, for your 4th seed overall, I give you Toby. Now we start to get into your last few players for your 3rd seed, or your 3rd pick in the draft. They're an Australian player. You might know them, you might not, it depends. But they only have 1 letter in their name, which made it really difficult trying to give them their proper roles. And ladies and gentlemen, your 3rd pick in the Ruby draft, joining the Millionaires, is O. And now, for your second pick of the Classic Tetris Gauntlet Ruby Draft. They are having their debut this season. They are a Super Mario Bros. 1 speedrunner, a Canadian player, and just overall fantastic guy to hang around. Joining the Stochastic Squad with Supermind's Eyeball. Now, for your first pick in the Gauntlet Overdrive Ruby Draft, a player that we call him by 3 letters, has had a fantastic journey in his Classic Tetris career and was chosen as the #1 pick by the Sparks and Minos, was able to defeat Andy in the DAS battle in the Classic Tetris DAS tournament, and also helps with the Classic Tetris Wars events. Ladies and gentlemen, for your first overall pick in the Ruby Draft, DMJ! He will be playing for the Sparks and Minos. So, just to recap, these are your 14 players that have been drafted. Starting at 14th seed, Odin. Odin, of course, is not going to be playing for the Trias, but is going to be playing for the Stochastic Squad. 13th seed, Melichak, who's going to be coming back to the Drywellers. Chill Allah making a debut, going to be playing with the Wavy Ones. Neminator not coming back as a captain, but is coming back as a player, going to be with the Millionaires. NGC Man, the man with the most DAS controversies. Keyword man with the most DAS controversies. Joining also the Stochastic Squad, NGC Man. Knight, not making a return to the Ox Chords, was making a debut in the Sparks and Minos. Red Shirt, who always, I guess Red Shirt can be the red Ox Chord in the Ox Chords. Red Shirt's playing for the Ox Chord. Zyle making a return to the Grandmasters. TT Playa, not playing for the Sparks and Minos this season, but is instead playing for Top Down. LMAO Yeet playing for the Drywellers. Toby playing for the Wavy Ones. O playing for the Millionaires. Eyeball for the Stochastic Squad. And then, of course, DMJ for your first overall pick, playing for the Sparks and Minos. This is going to conclude our draft. There's our Platinum players, there's our Diamond players, and there's our Ruby players. However, the action doesn't stop with that. Ladies and gentlemen, we got a couple of matches to go into. One line to burn. One line to burn.
He's not gonna get a JP's here.
Oh, does he get an eyepiece? Oh my gosh, he said no, and it doesn't happen. Eyepiece was right next. Ophawks barely wins. 1,028,000 to dogs. 996,000.